Thank you for joining me. Good day to you. I'm Andrew Weens with the Trinity Family, and I'm here today to start a new series for us. We're going to talk about power struggles, conflict, and consequences. As I've been observing families over the last years and in the schools doing trainings and watching staff and leading my own staff teams and my own family, I've noticed a tendency socially that it seems like we understand pretty well that we're supposed to avoid this thing called power struggles. And this is what I would say is a power struggle. A power struggle is a contest for control between two people. And freedom is at stake in that contest. And conquest, whoever wins, gets control in that relationship. There's a winner and there's a loser. No matter if the adult wins or the kid wins, whenever that happens, the relationship suffers, respect is lost, and the adult will lose their influence over that child. No matter if the child wins or the adult wins, it's a lose situation. And so yes, we absolutely must avoid power struggles. In the way that we give directions, in the way that we do discipline, it's so important. And we're going to talk about how to do that more as the weeks go on. But we want to avoid power struggles. But seems to be this slippery slope and this kind of illusion that has come over many educators and many parents, where I see them thinking they're avoiding power struggles, but what they're really avoiding is just conflict in general. And we cannot avoid conflict with kids. Conflict is natural and it's unavoidable in healthy relationships. When people get together, they have to define their boundaries for that relationship, and the only way to do it is to have conflict. Whether you're in marriage, in the workplace, with friends, or between an adult and a child, there must be conflict for a healthy relationship to happen. And especially when we're talking about kids. Kids are coming into the world without the blueprint for how things are supposed to be done, for right and wrong. They need the adults in their lives to take responsibility, to have conflict with them at times, for them to be able to learn it. Now, it's important how that conflict happens so that it doesn't become a power struggle, but conflict is not the same thing as a power struggle. So if you find yourself avoiding conflict with kids, you're probably going down a dangerous slope for that child, in which you are actually going to do a disservice to them by not providing the boundaries that they need. Because consequences, which is this third word, is the way that we learn in the world. I do something and something happens, either good or bad. That cause and effect is the most powerful way for anyone to learn, and especially a child navigating the world for the first time. That conflict or that consequence is essential. And so consequences also must not be avoided. And consequences are the natural, or sometimes not natural, but actually adult provided repercussions for behavior, for actions that are both good or bad. And sometimes those consequences come with conflict, and sometimes they're painful. And what's very easy to have happen is a place where, because we want to avoid power struggles, consequences suddenly get watered down. And we suddenly think consequences are good when they don't cause conflict, and when there's not this rubbing between an adult and a child. And that rubbing is where learning happens. And so we're going to take the next weeks to unpack, okay, let's do some evaluation. Am I, as a teacher, am I, as a parent, creating the healthy conflict that's necessary, or am I avoiding conflict in the name of avoiding power struggles? And I really want you, just over this next week, to ask yourself that question. As you go in with your child at home, or with your children in your classroom, or wherever you may be, ask yourself, am I willing to have conflict with these kids? Or am I avoiding it in the name of avoiding power struggles? And maybe ask yourself too, do I need to avoid power struggles? Am I getting into them when I shouldn't? And all those questions are applicable, but I want you to just think on your own, where you are at with those three words: power struggle, conflict, and consequences. And we are going to come back together these next several weeks and unpack how we can do all of this well for the health and sake of our children. So thanks for listening. Have a great day. Thanks for being for children wherever you are.